David Wright is going to be speaking tonight, but first I do want to have Tony to come up and tell you guys a little bit about, first of all, I always acknowledge our sponsors. It was very nice of Showcase Photo and Video to loan us a camera tonight for the video and the live stream. And Tony from Performance PC always makes it possible for us to be able to live stream this and then have a video to go back and watch, and so that you can come back and refer to it. I hope that everybody will go to the meetup group and join that meetup group so that if you have any questions, please use that meetup group and that forum to ask questions. If you need a videographer or you need an editor or anything like that, or just ask each other. Really, you guys aren't using it very much. There's 270 people on it. There's lots of people to ask questions, and I'm a member of the Atlanta Web Designers Meetup Group, and those guys are always asking each other things, and consider everybody in the group a resource for you. So, and if you're not comfortable, just email me, and then I'll try to get you to the right person. But, so Tony, do you want to come up and talk about the live streaming and also what's going on with Adobe?
Okay. Yeah, my name is Tony Hale. I'm Performance PC is my company. I am a custom system builder, so mostly PC related stuff. But I design, like this system here is a custom design system. It's a mobile type system that I can basically bring out in the field and set up, and we're live streaming on the internet. So this particular system has the ability to handle up to 4 cameras. It has switching capability in the software, so you can switch. You can capture the content, live stream, output to, if you've got an in-house broadcast system and you need to send out, you can do that. I mean, it's very, very flexible. There's chroma key built in. It's very feature-rich, very nice system for live keying. CG, any graphics you need to put in, picture-in-picture, I mean, it pretty much does anything you can do in the edited environment, you can do there live. So for live streaming, and if anybody's got any questions or want to play with it or want to look at it, you're welcome to. I'll show you anything about it and answer any questions that you've got. At the same time, I specialize in building turnkey video editing systems, production systems. I'm an Adobe dealer, so I sell Adobe software. How many people, or anybody in here that uses Adobe software? Okay, so Adobe software, and Adobe kind of like a lot of these other software development companies, the big companies, Microsoft, and these companies are going to this membership environment versus where you go out and buy the software, you own it. They're now going to a membership. Adobe's membership is called Creative Cloud. They have, and currently they have where you can purchase Adobe software, or you can do the membership and pay monthly. And with my customers, I found that it's been about 50-50. I've got half the customers that don't want to be fixed at a monthly payment, and from now on have to pay a monthly fee. And then I've got another half of my customers that say, hey, this works perfect for me. I want to stay up to date all the time, so membership works great. So that it's been working real well. Well, Adobe's decided that they're doing away with the purchasable software. So if you want to purchase Adobe software and own it, you have to do it within the next 2 months. At the end of May, it's going away.
And who will buy it through you?
Yeah, right? And you can buy it through me. That's right, I'm an Adobe dealer. So at the end of May, the CS6 version software, which is the purchasable version software, is going away. At that point, you have to be basically a member of the Creative Cloud to get Adobe software. Currently, Adobe software has a deal that is also going through the end of May. If you want to become a member of Creative Cloud for $40 a month, you can become a member. Now that price of $40 a month, if you're familiar with Adobe software, at that price, that's what they would refer to as Master Collection. Virtually everything Adobe's got is actually Master Collection and then some. It's virtually everything Adobe's got for $40 a month. That price is good for 24 months. At the end of 24 months, it goes to $70 a month. So if you want to get in on that special promo deal they've got, you got to do it by the end of May, and you can get it for $40 a month for 24 months. At the end of May, it is going to go to $50 a month for the first 12 months, and then $70 a month after the first 12 months. So they've got promo deals. This particular promo deal that they've had for like the last year is definitely going to go away at the end of May. So if you're interested in Adobe software, definitely see me and I can fix you out.
Thank you, Tim.
Are they gonna tier, like to say if you only need Premiere and After Effects and Photoshop, will they put a package together like that? Or?
No, they have a single app price. If you just wanted Premiere or you just wanted After Effects, you can do that. That's $20 a month. But I mean, by the time you do two, you're at $40 a month. You might as well do the complete package.
Yeah,
So-
let's, if there's more questions, let's go ahead and do it after David. I just
Yeah.
want to introduce him really quick. Really quickly, right before I introduce him, I do want to let you guys know, this live streaming that Tony's doing, I mean, I would encourage everybody to at least look into it. It's a great way, it's a challenge for all of us in video production to get recurring revenue. It's a great way to get that. Get in with, somebody that, a church, a school, anybody that constantly has a need for it, and it's the best kind of recurring revenue I think you can get, and Tony's great with it. So we are so happy to have David here tonight. This is David Wright with W3 Group Marketing, and he has worked with some of my clients. He does a fabulous job. This is really his niche and specialty is video search, and you guys know that, I mean, your clients all expect this now. It's not just enough to do their video, but you gotta get everybody to find it and view it and all of that. So that's David's niche, and we're really happy to have him. Thank you,
Glad to be
David.
here, thank you. The best way is to do this here. Hopefully this is a little bit bigger than my laptop screen. But, first of all, why am I here? A little bit about my background. Started out, graduated from Georgia State, started out at Georgia Tech as an ICS computer science major back when Pascal and C+ were fairly new. Done business worldwide, lived in Tokyo for about 6 years, and done a lot of things in my career, everything from sales, marketing, project management, consulting, and lots more. Became a best-selling author with my first book, which is called Get a Job, Your Guide to Making Successful Career Moves. That came out in 2006, the same year I founded W3 Group. And started my first online business in 2004. And here's a few different places where I've either been interviewed, quoted, featured, shared expertise somehow, spoken, a few little places here and there. So first of all, what is SEO? Essentially, it's getting to the top of the search engines for terms that people are searching for, especially when they're ready to buy, not necessarily just browse and research, but if you're doing business with a company that's looking for more sales, then in the end, it's all about the sales. There's currently over 3 billion searches a day on Google. The question is, how do you get your share? Keyword research is the absolute foundation of search engine optimization. And one of the keys is to think like your customer or like your audience. What would they be searching for when they're looking for your product or your service? A lot of things that one mistake a lot of people make is they tend to use industry jargon that's only used within your industry, that the average person who's looking to buy your services might not have a clue what it means. I'll be sharing a couple of keyword tools here as well to make things easier for you. Hope you don't mind that. So some of the basics, SEO is one of the great ways to get found, and getting found equals traffic to your website, and traffic plus conversions equals sales. So with keyword research, the first step is to build a list of keywords that you think are important. List up as many relevant terms as you can for terms that people will be searching for. And don't ignore the really long tail keywords. Those are keyword phrases that might be 4, 5, 6 or more words long. For example, BMW versus new BMW X5 for sale in Atlanta. BMW, they could be searching for pretty much anything, whether it's research about the company, what the acronym means, who knows what. But if they're looking for new BMW X5 for sale in Atlanta, they're probably looking to buy. So one shortcut is to check your competitors' keywords. You can go to their website, go to a page that you find relevant, and right-click. Of course, if you're not using Mac, if you're using Windows, right-click and choose View Source. And there's a meta tag in the end of your web page that shows meta keywords. And what you can do is you can copy and paste that to your spreadsheet and do that again and again for other pages until you get a nice long list of keywords. And then you start using a keyword research tool. First of all, you want to broaden that list and come up with phrases that you or your competitors might not have thought about. And a few really useful ones are the Google AdWords keyword tool. SEO Book has a powerful and free group of tools that you can use to register on their site. Uber Suggest is a really good one I like to use a lot as well. Then step 3, find out how much these words are being searched for. Find out what the search volume estimates are. A lot of keywords will give you an estimate, and none of them will tell you exactly how many searches it gets, but as long as it's directionally correct, that's what you're looking for. Then take a look and see what's on page 1 for those keywords. How many results are there? This kind of gives you an idea of the competition for that keyword. And then what I do is I divide the search results by the search volume to give an idea of the overall competitiveness of that keyword. So that can give me a clue as far as one indicator of how easy it's going to be to rank for that keyword. And if major sites dominate the first page, then it might be too broad of a keyword. You might be better off getting something more focused. And when you do keyword research, you want to use private browsing, and while you're logged out of Yahoo, Google, or Bing, that way it doesn't skew the results that you see based on your past history, your pages you may have done +1 thing for, and so on. Then what I like to do is I like to look for chinks in the armor. I like to look for fast ways that I can get to the top. And looking to see what's on page 1, video, images, blogs, shopping, news, local or maps results. All these are pretty easy to rank for fast if you know what you're doing. Then, of course, you want to target your best opportunities. And here, of course, I'll be talking about video. So, currently YouTube is the #2 search engine in the world, and of course Google owns YouTube, so they've got the top 2. And YouTube results do help overall SEO as well. Video can be a very, very powerful way to page 1 of Google very fast. And I've done it, actually 20 out of my last 21 videos have gotten to page 1 of Google in less than an hour. My record is 2 minutes. I think to get any faster I'm going to need a flux capacitor and a DeLorean.
Is that a lot more preferable than Vimeo? YouTube?
They both have their advantages.
Okay.
YouTube does have an advantage because it's owned by Google, and Google's always looking for fresh, relevant content. So since they own YouTube, they're always looking to find new content on YouTube, so it gets indexed regularly, very, very often.
All right.
So it's one of the reasons why I've been able to get there so fast. And there's currently about 48 hours of video uploaded to YouTube every single minute. So what that tells me is it's more important than ever to get it right. YouTube's Robert Kinsel, I think that's pronounced, head of global partnerships, a couple years ago said that very soon 90% of all web traffic will be video. That's huge. And that's just some stats from number of unique videos to U.S. online video properties. This is about a year old, but Google sites are way up top, then Facebook, Vivo, Yahoo sites, Viacom Digital, and a few others below that. It's showing you where most of the videos are being shown. Here's one example. This is one that I did for a Mary Kay rep up in Auburn, Georgia, and turns out Mary Kay's lawyers didn't like it because the video that I created wasn't pre-approved by them, so I had to take it down. But it got to #1 on Google for Mary Kay, Auburn, Georgia in just 2 hours. This one got to #5 on Google in just 27 minutes. This is for an automotive transportation company based out of Florida, but doing car transport nationwide. This one is #1 for Dunwoody Kitchens, and uploaded that in July 2011, and it's still #1, and it's got over 3,000 views and dozens of leads for the client. This one got to page 1 of Google in just 20 minutes. This was, actually I did this one right before a speaking gig. I got a volunteer from the audience and recorded her doing a quick video, edited it, uploaded it, optimized it, and 20 minutes later, it was on page 1. This one got there just 15 minutes. That's for Cafe Internet, so over here in Dunwoody. This one got here in 8 minutes. You kind of get the point. This one is some of my video testimonials, or video testimonials for me. I've got number 1 and number 3 for Atlanta Video SEO testimonial. Kind of helps credibility a little bit. This one was for an affiliate product. I got to page 1 of Google in just 3 minutes. This is an interesting little before and after for this client. They're a accounting and bookkeeping firm in Lawrenceville, and there was already a video on page 1. And you see up the green here, those are all paid ads. Google AdWords, pay-per-click ads. So what that tells you is that's probably a money keyword, otherwise there wouldn't be quite so many people advertising on that for that keyword. So this guy had a video on page 1, so I decided to see what I could do as far as taking that down and replacing it with my own. And sure enough, 4 minutes later I did. It's become kind of a game. It's like, how fast can I do it this time? So would you like me to teach you how to do this?
Yes.
Yes.
3 basic steps. One of them, first of all, basically you optimize your video file itself, including your file name and your properties. You don't want to upload like video0004.avi. You want to upload something that actually has the keywords in it that you're looking to rank for. And right-click on the properties and include everything you can in all the different fields in there. Your title, your description, your keywords, there's spaces for a lot of that in there. Then upload it to YouTube, and then optimize everything you can on YouTube. So targeting a keyword, you get the keywords from your list. This is one kind of a, I guess some people call it a ninja tactic. What I do is I will use this rank checker tool, and I'll plug in the keyword, and I'll see where YouTube ranks for those keywords. So the theory behind that is if there's already a video on page 1 of Google, then it's probably going to be easier to knock that one down and replace it with my own than it might be if there's no video up there. But it's worked either way. I mean, this is just one type of tactic that I use. So, like I said, use the keyword you choose in your file name, properties, title, description, and the first tag. And by the way, that rank checker tool and other SEO tools are free and available at SEObook.com. You just register for a free membership, and there you go. So optimizing the video, when you right-click on the video file properties, this is one of the things you see is the general here. So you want to make sure that this is a keyword-rich title there, and then you go to the details, and you can optimize a lot in here. The title, subtitle, of course you want to rate it 5 stars, because of course your video is going to rock. Tags, those are your keywords. Comments. What I do for the comments is a lot of times I use the same text that I use in the description for my YouTube video description. And that way it matches up and it's more consistent too. And there's other properties, directors, producers, etc. Publisher, content provider, author URL, promotion URL, and save that and upload it to YouTube. So once you get to YouTube, the most important factors in order are the video title itself, the tags, which is often really overlooked. You get this one thing right and you've got a better shot than most. Then the description, and then the views, the time watched, the sharing, the embeds, the likes, and so on. So you want to make sure you use your target keyword in each of those. And of course, once you upload it, of course you want to like it, you want to watch it, you want to favorite it, you want to share it, and encourage other people to do so too. And there are some other secret tactics to get more views, even from people viewing your competitors' videos. I'll get into more of that in a moment. So the basic info, this is what the YouTube basic info looks like. So I've got the title here, which has bookkeeping for small business in this case, and then description. I like to always include the link, the URL to the website where I want to send people as the very first line of description, because couple reasons. One, you want to make it as easy as possible for people to take the actions you want them to take, which is usually visiting a website or visiting another site where you might have a squeeze page set up or whatever that may be. Also, because by default YouTube kind of compresses that description, they only show the first 2 or maybe 3 lines unless you actually click on view more. So you want that link to be there as like a magnet for somebody to say, oh hey, there's a link, I'll click on that. In your tags, you can add, you could add dozens of them, but really between 8 and 12 or so is going to be ideal. You want to have enough tags that you've got enough information to give the reader and the search engines enough to know what it's about, but you don't want to overdo it.
Are those basically keywords?
Yes.
Okay.
But within YouTube, there are those tags here.
Are the recommended ones at the bottom like hot keywords, or are they just kind of random?
Sometimes they're related somehow. Like sometimes you'll type in, say, Gwinnett, there might be Gwinnett bookkeeping, and it might show Gwinnett County, USA, which is relevant, but it's not really focused. Yes?
Not to fall back on a couple slides, but on that whole part about when you're uploading the video and you're right-clicking and you're filling out all the property information,
Mm-hmm.
can you do that after the fact, or is that kind of a step before you upload?
That's a step before you upload it to YouTube.
So that,
Because once you've uploaded it to YouTube, you
can't
don't
go
really
back.
have direct access to modify the file itself.
okay. Thank you.
How about on the Mac OS side? I noticed that was Windows. Can you do that? I know you can get info on the Mac side.
Does anybody know how to view properties for a file within Mac?
It is to get info, but I don't know if it's editable.
Okay.
It is, it's editable if it's not locked. And of course, it's your video, so.
I think when you export a video, you might be able to put in like all the metadata before you export it. I'm not sure.
So that would actually act the same as the PC side.
I assume, yeah, I think you can put like author and all that stuff in there. I think.
Gotcha. And of course you want to, 9 times out of 10 you're going to want to make it public. Maybe 99 times out of 100, unless it's a private video that they only get to view if they know the link. And share it by social media. Choosing the right category. YouTube's categories are okay, they're not extremely descriptive, but usually how-to and style or news or one of those related categories would be close enough to work. Some say that news may actually get you ranking faster, but I've done it ridiculously fast without selecting the news category. So, like I said, put your URL in the first line, make it easy for people to take the action you want. Use your keywords, your category. So these tags, keywords, are more important than anything except for your video, or they're more important than anything in your video description. And most people don't have a clue about how to use this properly. For example, I did a search on YouTube for Atlanta plumber. Pretty competitive, over 10,800 views on YouTube, or videos on YouTube. Out of the top 10, not a single one used tags properly. So even though this is a very competitive niche, frankly, it wouldn't be hard to dominate it. Advanced settings on YouTube. Of course, you want to have your, depending on what the video, what your goal is with it, you may or may not want to allow comments or allowing users to vote on comments. Usually I allow all that. Distribution options, you want to allow embedding. The more places that your video is found, the more likelihood that that turns into somebody who ends up being a customer for your client. And video location, it shows the GPS coordinates by default, but you can type in the address, the physical address. So for example, if I've got a video I'm doing for a client, I'll actually typically type in their physical address, their street address, as the video location. May help a little bit within local search. They won't really reveal very much in the algorithm, but my guess is that it does help a little bit, so it's worth doing. You can also leverage other people's videos. This is kind of a stealth tactic. One of the things you can do is you can post your video as a video response to a popular video. Of course, that depends on the settings of the person who has that video, the really popular video, and sometimes they'll either have to allow it or not allow it, or not even have the chance to do it. But if it is an option, it can be worth doing in moderation. I wouldn't do it with every single video in your YouTube channel. That can look a little bit suspicious, and you could end up getting your YouTube account canceled or suspended or both, and YouTube is pretty much judge, jury, and executioner, and there's not really an appeal process for that. Another thing, some people are savvy enough to use a sneaky little tag trick where you have maybe some sort of garbage or gibberish word that you use as a tag in all of your videos. The reason for that is because that gibberish word will show up as in each of your videos, and it helps those videos show up in your suggested or related or recommended videos on the right hand side. So if you do that right, you can end up having suggested videos, not just 1 or 2 of yours, but like 5 or 6 or more.
Gibberish word, just
Like ABZQ4 or something like that. Who knows what? But as long as you use the same one within each.
video.
Mhm.
That one fella has equals 3, and he gets over $10-15 million per visits per video.
That's not bad at all.
Yeah, he's doing pretty well.
Could you steal that person's, like, gibberish tag?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was talking about. You can actually, if you can find out what that tag word is, you can actually use that as one of your own tags, and that way your videos will start showing up in their suggested videos.
Is there a way, can you see that in if you look at the view source, is their
Yeah.
video keywords show up, or just
Yeah,
the website
when
keywords?
you go to the video page on YouTube for that video, you can do the view source, and the tags actually show up as the meta keywords for that page.
For the whole page?
Yeah. Once your video is live, obviously you want to watch it first of all. Like it, add it to your favorites, share on social media everywhere, including social bookmarking sites. This is an example of Super Pages, Super Video. Anybody heard of them? Pretty big company in the online ad space. They've got 9,207 videos as of the time that this screenshot was taken. And this was in October. I made this slide for a previous presentation. And it's got no views. 4 days after the video was uploaded, still no views. That means they didn't even bother to watch their own client's video. Personally, that wouldn't make me very likely to hire Super Pages for anything. More video tactics. There are ways you can get more views very, very quickly, and we can get thousands of views within just a week or so. Now, some of these are through so-called dummy accounts, and we're not doing this step for client attraction, rather more for social proof and building momentum. Are you familiar with the concept of social proof? It's basically, all things being equal, you're probably going to choose to do the one that's most popular. So if you're in a strange town, you've got 2 restaurants, and one of them is packed with maybe 1 or 2 tables open, and the other restaurant's got maybe 2 people in the very back. Which one are you going to be more likely to eat at? The one that's packed, because it's probably going to be better. That's kind of the idea of social proof. So for example, if you see a video with 3 views and one with 3,000 views, you're going to be more likely to watch the one with 3,000 views. Is that a question, or you just holding your pen up?
I'm still not quite sure where you went with that one.
This is a way to increase, there are ways to increase the number of views very quickly. Are you familiar with a site called Fiverr.com? Fiverr.com. The premise of the site is what we do for $5. And you've got people all over the world that will do all kinds of things for just $5. Some of it is going to be pretty ridiculous stuff, but some of it is actually things like, get 2,000 views to your YouTube video in a week for $5.
Okay.
But they shut you down. When we shut you down, you will find out.
It's after delivery, so Fiverr actually acts as an intermediary. But I wouldn't do this with every single video because, again, you don't want to look suspicious in the eyes of Google. But it can be a good way to get some initial momentum built, and if you do it right, you may even be on the featured videos on the homepage of YouTube, which would be a pretty nice feat to get. What's that?
Is it like that one person that watches your video 2,000 times?
No, there is software that distributes views, and there are actually people that make, pennies on the dollar that actually their job is to go through and watch videos. usually in very low income areas like Indonesia or Philippines or India or various different places like that. Then you also want to get your video outside of just YouTube. There's also Vimeo, Photobucket, Flickr, Vine, Instagram has videos now. So the idea is the more exposure you get for it, the more bang for your buck you're going to get. I know I kind of flew through that a good bit. Any other questions so far? Or? Yes?
My wife used to have a deal website, and we went through the Google SEO.
Mm-hmm.
Now, is it possible that, like how you say you knocked somebody else down? Now, I think that happened to us. How do you get yourself back up? Like, is that possible?
Yeah, I mean, part of it is a combination. It's more of a broader SEO question. And there's two main components of SEO. One is on-page, which are things you have direct control over. Your page titles, your text content, your video content, your image content, how those are tagged, and so on. Then there's the off-page, which is basically link building and social sharing. So it used to be that a link was like a vote for your website, and the more links you had, the more popular your website was, and therefore you ranked higher. That's been changed a good bit as Google continually changes its algorithm, or at least very frequently. And in the end, it's about, they keep changing things because it's like the old race between the armor maker and the weapons maker. The weapons maker is always trying to figure out how to get through the armor, like get to page 1 of YouTube, or page 1 of Google, and the armor maker is trying to build stronger armor so that the people that are doing it incorrectly can't get through.
So basically, it's not one of those things where you can set and forget.
No.
You've got to constantly be on top of it.
Or hire somebody who is. That's one of the things that we do as an ongoing thing. I actually acquired a company a couple years ago, and they had a periodic, the thing they would do was an SEO refresh, but it really, in my opinion, wasn't that effective. Plus, from his standpoint, it didn't produce recurring revenue for his business. So he was having to go out and chase after more projects all the time. Whereas because I'm doing that and other things that have a recurring basis and ongoing monthly, I can forecast my revenue more effectively. And I'm still going to have the ups and downs, but the downs are going to be higher than they would be without that recurring revenue.
Go ahead.
There you go. Your hand went first.
Get it on video so we can check.
I know if you have two computers right next to each other and you use one more than you use the other, but if you go to Google and type in the exact same words to find a site, the computer that you use more will have the Google ranking higher than the other computer. How do you get around that?
By get around it, what do you mean by that?
What's the true way to getting to the top without using your main computer? Like if you go off-site, you're going to get a different ranking from when you are at home.
Yeah, I mean, Google and the search engines are really trying to deliver more and more personalized results. So they're going to take into account your browsing history, cookies on your machine, what sites you've favorited, what sites you've liked, what sites you spend the most time on, and so on. So actually, in reality, almost each of you could be searching for the exact same thing on Google, and you'd each probably have slightly different results. Your page 1 might be pretty similar, but when you get down to page 2 and 3, you're probably going to have slightly different results based on your own browsing history.
What are the percentages on how many people go to page 2 and page 3? For me, I can't ever remember going to page 2. I mean,
it's far less than 10% where people actually go to page 2. I've got another presentation that shows basically the number 1 result gets, I think, about 42% of the clicks, and then it goes pretty much downhill from there.
Okay. Right.
And the ads might get around 10% or so, counting all the ads together. And interestingly, the number 10 result actually gets slightly more clicks than the number 9 result usually. Yes.
So is this applicable to all content or just video?
As in the
Is in get
optimization?
the SEO getting to the top spot?
There are factors with all kinds of content, yes. So with text content, one of the factors is keyword density. You don't want to have above or below a certain percentage range where that target keyword appears in the text. If you have it too many times, it looks like keyword stuffing and they'll penalize you for it. If it doesn't show it enough, then it doesn't tell the search engines that this page is important about this keyword.
Okay.
And images, of course, you want to make sure that you do similar things with the video. You know, make sure your file name is optimized, make sure your alt tag includes the right keywords, and so on. Does that answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
Good.
As far as having one specific video on your homepage,
Mm-hmm.
is that a preferred tactic? Like, you know, you can have a gallery of videos on page 3
Mhm.
or on your homepage. Is that where you want your video also?
I would try to put a video on every page if I could.
Okay.
Of course, it's good to have a gallery as well, but since search engines love video, why not give them what they love?
Does that mean like embedding it into your code, or actually like uploading it to your WordPress and posting it through that, or does like a link or like an embed from YouTube or Vimeo? Is that just as
Usually what I'll do is I'll just embed it from YouTube, but it depends on the purpose of the video. There are certain videos that you might not want on YouTube for various reasons, or that you might not want to embed. You might want to have more control over it. Like, for example, you've probably seen like video presentations that don't have any controls. It just plays. You got play and a pause, but you can't fast forward or rewind. You can't do that with the YouTube embed. But if you've got your own custom video player built into your page, then you can use tools like that. Yes.
This sounds stupid, but is there anything in the video itself that Google looks for?
As far as like what you and I would
Or
see just by
searching.
watching the video?
Yeah.
They
Well,
aren't quite
to
that
put you up.
sophisticated yet.
Yeah.
They're getting there, but they're not quite there yet. So they can't watch a video like you and I can and understand exactly what it's about. Now they can do the text or speech-to-text transcription type thing and get an idea of what it's about from the
Like
vocals
if
in
there
it.
were captions in your video,
Mhm.
would it know that? Would it search for that? Would it see that as a keyword or whatever?
I try to use captions when I can.
Yeah.
It does take a little bit longer to do that, but they've got a tool where they can actually generate caption, like a closed caption track automatically. It's usually not going to be perfectly correct, so you have to go back in and edit it, but it's definitely worth doing. Yes,
What's an optimal length for a video?
that's a very good question. What's the optimal size for a suit? It depends on your goal with video, what purpose it is. If you're paying attention to past videos you've done and you see that after a certain, say after like 3 or 4 minutes, the viewing just drops off, then maybe you're making your videos too long. If you've got people watching all the way through the video and it's 20 minutes long, then 20 minutes is great for that video.
It also depends on the type of video.
Exactly. So there is no one hard and fast rule that tells you this is a perfect length for a video. Yes.
What about, you may have touched on pictures, but uploading a thumbnail and having keywords on that thumbnail? And I'm reading a lot about that. I mean, where you can, you have the option in YouTube now to customize your thumbnail, have a good picture, not one of the randoms they pick.
Yeah.
And then being able to put text when you're video editing with some keywords on that. I mean, have you done much of
that
that?
couldn't necessarily hurt. I mean, if it's not distracting for the viewer, and actually that's an interesting thing I might have to test out.
I've been reading up on that a lot. I didn't, being able to put the keywords, just another way to. I don't know how it works the algorithm. Some people say it does. I just wanted your opinion on that.
That's actually an interesting thing to test. I think I'm going to test that because I uploaded a custom thumbnail for a video I did yesterday, and I didn't think to actually go through all the steps of optimizing that image file itself, but it still ranked in 19 minutes. And it still couldn't hurt. Yes.
Does Google authorship play into videos yet?
I think the jury's still out on that. I think it will at some point, but I'm not sure how far that's come so far.
Explain that.
What does that mean? Yeah.
You can go into Google if you have a Google account and claim authorship for a page. And if you do search results and you see an article come up and it's got the thumbnail picture of the author, Google has validated them as the author, and it will help the rank blog posts and things like that. It's real simple to do. Go to your G Plus account and just search on Google authorship. It takes about 15 seconds to fill out the things, but it gives you more credibility in the search engine.
Nice tip.
Absolutely.
Now, second question. Does it help to put the actual text spoken in the video in the description?
I do that frequently. I don't do it with every single video because some videos are just animated slideshows set to music. But for like a video sales letter or something like that, I would definitely do that. Yes.
So let's do that scenario where you get knocked down again, like from the first page.
Yeah.
What would you do to get yourself back up? Like what would be your first step by step?
If it was a video of mine that was knocked down, I would start sharing that video again on social media, do some social bookmarking, maybe even point some other links to it, maybe even link to the video from my website as well.
But wouldn't you just go see, first of all, well, why is it that the other one is ahead of you? What, can't you analyze, well, what happened?
Yes and
That
no.
they now just took over? Well, how do you,
Without a true insight into Google's algorithms, you can't really tell exactly why they decided to rank it higher.
Yeah.
But through experience and experimentation and testing and research and so on, you can get an idea of what's important to Google. And you can go back through and make sure that your video has all the important factors.
What I do is I go to the video that's at the top of the page and I leave a comment in their section for comments. And of course leave a nice comment.
Yeah.
And leave a link to your website that people can come visit.
That can help some too.
That helps a lot for me.
And you can also comment on blogs or maybe issue a press release about the video. Press releases aren't quite as valuable for SEO as they were before the most recent update, but it still helps a little bit. Yes?
Being in the family, does activity within Google Plus help any, like you're talking a lot about?
Definitely.
It does, so I mean.
It may or may not actually help the video itself, but what I found is by doing a +1 on a video that I've done, a lot of times I'll end up with 2 or 3 or 4 different results on page 1, and one of those would be the Google Plus. So in the end, it doesn't really matter exactly how you're found, as long as you're found and people take the actions you want.
I'm just a little bit worried about YouTube. Two things, you know, the base language of the internet is negative, so it seems I'm just deathly afraid of negative comments about anything I would put up there, and then all of the suggested videos on the side are all my competitors. I'm like, I don't want to, you know, somebody come here and then see all the other guys. So, you know, I look at Vimeo, but then that doesn't get searched the way that YouTube does. So
yeah.
How can I get over my fear of that?
Well, for one, you can start using that little gibberish keyword or tag trick that I mentioned earlier.
So just to fill
and
up.
That way you've got more of your videos coming up as suggested videos. Another thing you can do is, and I've just started kind of testing this out, is at the end of your video, have like a solid black screen for like 20 or 30 seconds or so. And then once that's up to YouTube, then you can add video links of the videos of your choice in that blank space there. So it looks as if those are recommended videos recommended by YouTube, even though you put it there. Yes.
Is there not some code you can put on the end of a video URL to not show suggested, or is that only if you're embedding in a site?
That's more if you're embedding.
Okay.
Because obviously YouTube wants you to be on their site as long as possible, so they're going to show you things they recommend that you might like after watching this video. Yes?
Back to the gibberish, is it a keyword or is it a tag, or is it?
Technically, the terms are different, but it's essentially the same thing. The YouTube calls it a tag, but when you
put it
right-click
in the
on the
tag, I'm sorry, Barry. You put it in the tag area,
right.
But you didn't use that same word through all your videos, so it helps build a community of related videos.
Exactly.
Okay.
Is there an easy way? I've never done that on YouTube, which is I see that other people will type text at a certain time, like, "Oops, I meant to say this."
Yeah.
You know, to correct themselves. How does one overlay something that way?
That depends on whether the uploader has allowed annotations to be added
I mean,
by
I annotate
anybody.
myself. I mean, I
Yeah.
want to correct my own video, or just like you said, put black video at the end and then put
Yeah.
some suggested sites on it.
Let's see. It should be. No, I have the right screenshot over here. Yeah, there's a place where you can add annotations to it. You can also add a closed captioning track as well. So definitely take advantage of all the features you can there. A lot of times I'll add the website URL as an annotation, so that way it shows throughout the video in an obvious but unobtrusive way. And that way, even if they're just watching the video in the background, if they decide to go to the site and they didn't for some reason see the website link in the URL in the description, then they can still go and visit the site. Yes.
Back to the gibberish tag,
Mhm.
does it help to be in the, like, the order of the tag, if it's the first tag? Or
I would usually put it around third or fourth.
third or fourth?
Mhm. You want to put your most important one first, and your second most important one second. After that, the importance doesn't matter quite as much, but by having it around third or fourth is pretty much ideal.
That's a very good suggestion, by the way, because that puts all your videos over on the side. If you
Mhm.
have 5 keywords that always match, that's going to do that. I appreciate it.
No worries, much like it. That's some good questions. Anybody has anything else?
Yeah. So like in the tags, sometimes like if I'm putting up like a music video or something,
Mhm.
and it's like a hip hop genre, I always tag like hip and hop separate. Like,
Mhm.
how much do you want it? Like, do you encourage like making? I saw like you had that phrase about BMW. That was like
Mhm.
a phrase as a tag word. Do you
Yeah.
think that's better than just individual words?
A little bit of both. I would mix it up a little bit. Like you might want to have hip and hop and hip hop,
Okay.
and maybe even a more specific subgenre within hip hop.
Is there a limit on YouTube how many tags you can do?
Probably, but I don't know what that limit is. But in general, no, anything more than like 10 to 12, 15 is going to be kind of excessive.
Okay.
So you want to use enough to give them the idea of what the video is about, but not so much that you're trying to include every keyword in the kitchen sink. Yes.
Do you know who the person is who's in charge of SEO in Google? Can you give them a call?
Not quite.
We need to
I
find
mean,
this
I know
person out.
who Matt Cutts is, but I don't have his number on speed dial. Yes.
Does having your own channel boost your ranking versus just having
An account.
an account?
It may or may not actually boost rankings, but it makes you come across as more professional, like you're doing things right in the right way. So the assumption is going to be that you do things right, and people are going to be slightly more likely to do business with you. So I also recommend making sure you build out your YouTube channel effectively and use, come up with a nice graphic for it, and have that graphic be somewhat similar across your other social media sites too, your Facebook, your LinkedIn, your Google Plus, Twitter, and whatever else you use. Are we finished drinking with the fire hose?
And I'm sure this is something we all deal with, and I know Google and everyone's trying to do it. How do you try to separate your stuff from all the porn? I mean, it's like my mother. I mean, she'll go search for garden supplies, and the first 10 things are porno sites. And and she got to where she just didn't want to go on the internet at all. So it's just, I
haven't
mean,
really had that issue, but then again, I'm maybe looking for a different kind of porn
garden. I don't know, but of course, it used to be my brother's computer. Maybe that was
Could be, I don't know.
Stay away from the site.
That may be the problem.
You might want to clear all your cookies, wipe out your browser history, and start from scratch again.
Rebuild the computer from the ground up.
One other thing I do when I'm editing my videos, I always put a watermark in the bottom corner of my video either my website name or watermark that I'm always familiar with. That way people will always know where to go to find your site.
Right.
Can
Or-
you do that legally?
Yeah, you can do it legally if it's your
Okay.
site or your logo.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't want to use somebody else's trademark.
Well, no,
brand
I
name
just
or
remember
something.
reading something where they didn't want you promoting, because I mean, it all comes down to bandwidth.
Mhm.
And if you can post all your videos on YouTube, you're not having bandwidth on your site. So, I don't, yeah.
I've
Now
never
that
thought of
YouTube's
it.
showing more and more ads, I mean, sometimes they're forcing you to show a 30-second ad before you see the video itself, and you can't fast forward through it or skip it. I think they're getting a little bit less,
Critical.
yeah.
So, yeah, we used to not let you to advertise your website, but
Mhm.
now you can because we want to watch your free content you created for us.
Because technically, I think any commercial video is against YouTube's terms of service, but they overlook a lot of that. But that's not to say that you might not just run afoul of the wrong person at the wrong time on the wrong day, and they might just yank your YouTube channel. So it's important to make sure that you've got all your video content somewhere else too, and not just on YouTube.
One
Yes.
more question. What is how? Do you know about if Google owns the rights to the video onto it? It's a little off topic, but
I'm not in the intellectual property
Yeah.
law space, so I
Right.
don't really know the exact answer to that. I'm sure it's in the terms of service somewhere.
cool. Yeah, I had no idea. So, curious.
I'm sorry.
Oh, I thought you were.
No, playlists of like topics and videos. Do you see much value in that, just to categorize information?
It could be another way to get found, and also another way to make sure that the videos that you want people to watch in sequence are in that right sequence.
Okay.
So, for example, if you've got a series of 5 videos that are part of your sales funnel, that might be one way to put them in a place where people can see them all.
They do seem to like playlists.
Yeah,
I have a
it's-
lot, and they help me get up higher.
I've seen more and more show up lately, so I think they're placing more emphasis
Seems
on
like,
that.
I don't know. David,
Actually, I
thank
think you're
you.
first.
Oh, another question, I'm sorry.
I just want to hear first.
I know it's a little bit off subject here, but actually making money off your videos,
Mhm.
is there money to be made there?
That will be another topic, just so you know.
That would be, you mean, like making money from the ads that are shown on the videos?
Yes.
As far as I'm looking at it, it might be an extra little stream of income, but I wouldn't expect to retire on that money.
Yeah.
One of the organizations
number.
One of the organizations I put videos on for, we started about a year and a half ago, and we're averaging about $350 to $375 a month.
On how many videos?
As in $3.50?
No,
or
$375.
Okay.
Wow.
And we have about 110 videos.
That's not too bad for an extra revenue stream.
No, that's
Yeah.
pretty good.
It's not huge, but
Considering
it's
it's
not
only a
bad.
year and a half old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
'Cause
so that could be another topic.
Yeah.
David's covered a lot of ground.
One last question.
Mhm.
I always put the URL first in the description. Can you put another URL further in the description?
Yes,
Okay.
and I do that. I usually put one at the very beginning, one down towards the end, and maybe another one somewhere in the middle. depending
Same
on what it
one,
is.
or can you do a different URL?
I would usually do something slightly different.
Okay.
And one thing I'll do sometimes is, sometimes I'll, in order to be able to track exactly which visitors came from the YouTube video, I might put, URL question mark YouTube video 1 or something like that.
Yeah.
Because basically the browser ignores everything after the question mark, but it's a way that you can look at it in Google, in your analytics, Google Analytics or whatever you use, and you'll see referring URLs would include that URL with a question mark and then keyword after it.
Is that what's referred to as A/B testing?
A/B testing is testing 2 different things, usually one variable of like testing 2 identical ads with different headlines, for example, and seeing which works better. It's also called split testing. And then you can actually get into more multivariate testing, which is testing more than one thing at the same time, but that gets a little bit more tricky.
All right, thank you, David. Wow, that was a great presentation, and I'm so glad you guys came out. Also, let's have a applause for Luda. Luda, do you rent out your studio at all? Are you interested in that kind of thing? Okay, do you want to talk about that?
No, I just thank you very much for coming, and thank you, Donna, for hosting and David for giving such a nice speech and answering all the questions. This is a lab studio, and we do both photography and videography. We also print banners, posters, almost everything. So if you ever need anything, please come. And sometimes we also need like second shooters. So if anyone is interested, you could also leave your information, and we'll contact you when we need. So, and
But do
thank
you
very
rent the
much.
studio too? You do?
Yes, yes.
Okay,
Mhm.
okay.
What's the rental rate?
Rental, it's $25 an hour. Yeah, and 2 hours is minimum.
Good.
Reasonable.
Very good.
Yeah, and we provide, usually it's mostly for photography, so we provide like backdrops and lights, but the videographers also shoot here. We have black screen and green screen also.
Ah, very good. That's a good rate. Anything else? Any other questions for everybody? Thanks for coming out. Please, everybody that's here, go to the meetup group. I know most of you are members of that, but that can be a great place for all of us to meet and, you know, ask questions. And David's video, the video that Tony's been kind enough to live stream, he'll give it to me. I'll post it. I'll put a link out, you know, through the meetup group to you guys, and then probably write something for realseo.com and put the video out for that too. So please share it. Say great things about him. He comes here for no money or anything else to come and share these ideas with us. So, you know, if we can share his video and say nice things about him and that kind of thing, I think it would be great, because all of us, you know, we want to learn this a little bit, but if you guys are like me, you just love producing video and you want to know a little bit, but if your client, and my clients have asked me, can you give me an SEO person, can you recommend somebody? And you know what, it seems like everybody and their brother does SEO now, so you really have to find somebody who knows what they're doing and they're not just faking it, you know, so David.
And it constantly changes. I had someone telling me the other day, and his answer was, you just link to everyone else's site. And I'm going,
No, you don't.
yeah. It's like, oh,
I
go.
know, you hear all kinds of crazy things.
Yeah, you know, you hear all kinds of, but I mean.
I see that a lot, and I decided to write a special report on how not to get ripped off by an SEO firm, and I give that away on my site.
Right.
Oh, that's a good one.
Do you have
So
a
Tony, if you
card?
want to go ahead and
Of course.
cut the stream and.
Would be a good marketer if I didn't, right?
Yeah.
Thank you,
Everyone
Tony.
Thank you.
Making this video awesome.
Thank you, Donna.
Yes, thank you.
Thanks for coming out.